Good day, sports fans. From Las Vegas, it's gamblersworld.net, where we will provide college information, inside analysis, and insights from Chip Chirimbes, Las Vegas Hilton World Champion handicapper, and Paul Bovi. Paul Bovi pounding the strip in Las Vegas and getting the sharpest numbers out there day in and day out. And Paulie, I know you had a great weekend last week. And what are you looking at? What are we looking to do on this Saturday? I mean, I don't see the same type of scheduling that I had seen previously, but I know you're going to come up with something.
Yeah, I'm going to come up with a game. I mean, we hit the last two. Florida, Mississippi stayed over. Last week, New Mexico. New Mexico manages to cover the number 50-40 over New Mexico State. It was kind of a close shave since we were given 9, but they pretty much dominated the game and managed to hold on and get the cover. So this week, we're going to look to Virginia Tech and Stanford. Now, you may recall that Virginia Tech game, they lost a controversial decision to the Miami Hurricanes on a last-second, call it a touchdown pass that wasn't, bobbled in the end zone, whatever you want to call it. And Miami Hurricanes hold on to win and defeat the Virginia Tech Hokies. But in the prior game, Virginia Tech defeated by Rutgers 26-23. So they're coming into Stanford off a 2-game losing streak. And I have to tell you, Stanford has not played bad football. Last week, they fall to Clemson 40-14. It really wasn't as bad as the final score would indicate. Stanford was able to run the football. They were also able to run the football against Syracuse in a loss. So I think Stanford is going to have success on a team that is vulnerable to the run, as they were in their opening game against Vanderbilt, who ran for 4 yards a carry, as well as these last two teams, Rutgers. Rutgers only ran for 3 yards a carry, but their quarterback had a very productive game, threw for 269 yards. I don't think Virginia Tech is all that defensively. Both teams going to be hungry for a win here. And when you can get 8 points at home with a Stanford team that's been competitive, that's been fighting hard against a team, Virginia Tech, which I think is overhyped at this point, I got to take the points here. So I'm going to look to Stanford to get this cover. 8 points, just a lofty number, and we're going to go Cardinal.
All right, Paulie, thank you for that. And by the way, push the like button anytime during the program. Subscribe. You get these college selections from us on a weekly basis. This is gamblersworld.net. And, Paulie, last weekend for me, it was like Crier's Corner. We got off to the great start with Minnesota. The game started early, and like you said, down 21-0, and still managing to come back and possibly even win the game, but they covered at least, and we got the cash there. Now, I'm sitting here with Auburn, and Auburn's only allowed 11 first downs the entire game, and I have Wisconsin, who's got a 27.5-point lead against the number, and pick sixes did me in both those contests. Boo-hoo is part of gambling, and that's why I am part of Crier's Corner for last week. But it's a new week, and we've got some great things in store for you on Saturday, and I have a 5-pack Fab 5 out there for you. But, Paulie, your game, what you're saying, the thing that gets me about this game being played in Stanford is that it's an Atlantic Coast Conference matchup between Virginia Tech and Stanford. And the Hokies have to go all the way across the country, and I don't see it happening. And Stanford has played a lot better than they've been rated. They were rated one of the worst teams out of the West, and yet they've been very competitive so far. I can see your side. I think that's the way to go. It'd be Stanford or nobody for me as well. All right, Paulie, there is a game of major interest, too, as well. It starts early. It starts at noon Eastern, 9 o'clock our time out here, if you're in Las Vegas. I don't think you're in Korea or Honduras right now. You are stateside, I can believe. But Missouri is playing Texas A&M. And, we've had great hype about Missouri the entire season, preseason, shall I say. And then Texas A&M, of course, opens up. There always seemed to be a team that let me down in crucial situations, and yet they come up a small favorite here against the Tigers. Tigers 4-0. A&M has that one loss. And how do you see it before I get my selection on it?
I just don't have a play on the game.
Okay.
I look at games, and if I can't come to a concrete conclusion, a definitive conclusion. I'm just going to take a pass on that. I think it should be competitive. I think it should be close. A&M got off the year, they got off on the right foot. Missouri, as you mentioned, 4-0. The competition hasn't been all that stout, but I think it should be a close game. So I'm going to defer to you.
Thank you very much. All I kept hearing all year was the hype and the returning veterans coming back to Missouri and their offense. And I guess it means something, Paul. They're averaging 472 yards offensively a game. And defensively, they're number 3 in the nation, only giving up 219 points. That would normally want to drive me to take Missouri and the Tigers, plus the fact that the Aggies have always let me down in crucial situations. So you know what? I'm going to take Texas A&M because I am the Antichrist. I can't. My instincts say you're supposed to be on Missouri, but I think the public and the way this game is set up that it fits into Texas A&M's 12th man genre. Anyway, this is Chip Chirimbes and Paul Bovi. Paul, you got some big weekends going, the big doings going this weekend in college football action at gamblersworld.net. Paulie, thank you so much for being with me today. And I am Chip Chirimbes. Log on, follow the buy links to find out what it's like to be an A-play winner. Once again, thank you and stay tuned. We'll be back again next week. Good luck, everyone.